solid 10 in the blueberry, solid 10 in the blueberry.
Did you know you only have to transmit for about 50 pounds?
Oh, I would think less than that. Roger that. Roger that. I met a person with the last name of that. Can you imagine what his first name was? You're going to get caught if you transmit longer than 10 seconds. Roger that. Your missile will be yours. Roger that. Holding in, holding in. Oh, that's a 20 plus carrier.
How's this stingy dipole sound?
It's working, I hear you.
Roger, thank you for the comeback. KX2U
5-9, good luck in the contest. Oh, that 5-9 was 20 plus. The other gentleman, you were just 10 over. Kilo Charlie 9, Mike on the 10. Good luck in the contest. I didn't know there was a contest. Frequency in use? Frequency in use.
You give a warning. This frequency is in abuse.
S7, that's the noise level. Hey, Mike, you can beat that?
No problem.
Yeah, you're a 5-9. On a stingy dipole.
5-9 on the stingy dipole. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear I'm getting out.
Yeah, what's this thing hitting you?
Oh, you're 10 over.
10 over.
5-9. That gentleman was 30 over right there. Roger that. Yep, roger that. You 30 over.
Where are you located?
Southern Indiana. How about you?
Yeah,
Wichita, Kansas. Oh, man, Midwest. Further out Midwest.
Yeah, that's why I asked you where you were. You said I was 10 over.
Yeah, you're solid 10 over when you come in on your audio. Yeah, I'm thinking about taking a trip to Meade, Kansas. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I don't know where that's at. Say that again.
Meade, M-E-A-D, Meade, Kansas.
I didn't take the first part.
Oh, am I fading? Is there fading going on?
Oh, it's on. I just can't understand you when you said the city.
Meade, M-E-A-D.
Oh, yeah, Meade. Yeah, no man's land. There ain't nothing out there.
Absolutely nothing?
Absolutely.
I hear Dalton's hideout was out there.
I have no doubt.
Well, anyhow, think about taking a trip out there. KC9 Mike and QSO with
KX2U.
What's out in Meade?
K0, you got stepped on, but yeah, that's Dalton Gang hideout area. It was Meade, Kansas.
Roger. Yeah, this is Kilowatt Foxtrot 0. Bravo Foxtrot uniform. Wichita, Kansas. They call me Big Mo.
Big Mo? Is it Mike Oscar?
Roger.
All right, Big Mo. Well, listen, you got a good signal coming in here, Southern Indiana, so like I said, you've been a solid 10.
All right, I'm going to...
Hey, Mo, what guy? Yeah, we got some guys can step on you. They're about 30 over, but other than that, good signal.
What's in Meade?
What's in Meade?
Yes, why are you going to Meade?
You know, I think I just had weird hunch of going west, young man, but now I'm an old man. Oh man, I tell you what, but nonetheless, I'm very active, and so I thought, let's go west, old man, let's go west, see what's out there. And Meade come up. Meade is a name for back in Kentucky, I think, is a very popular county out there.
Okay, good luck. I hope you have a nice adventure.
Zero PFU. Now can they walk on me?
Say again?
This is Kansas, Big Mo. How's my needle?
Hey, Mo!
Oh, okay, Mo. Yeah, Big Mo, you came up a tad bit, but yeah, that's already.
Yeah, white guy.
He just walks right over you.
Boys are gonna walk on me after I back the tractor up.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, you're pushing the 20.
There you go. Thanks for the flowers. You got a solid 9. Beautiful sound station. Pushing it.
All right, I'll take that S9. But yeah, you just increased it up to around about 20. You got a signal coming in. Strong audio sounds good.
I went and stretched my fan dipole out. I got an Alpha Delta DX.F.C.C about 39 feet. So I stretched her out, and she's a lot tighter.
Elevation, elevation, elevation. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta make it banjo tight.
Someone mentioned a banjo?
Gotta have it tight.
I got Randall good too. He sounds real good.
Well, Big Mo, I don't know. I just turned it on. It seems to be working. Don't have a VSR WR problem right now, but I think I'll push around about 400 watts at you.
Yeah, you're sounding really good.
Well, I guess we lost the East Coast. They were pretty dominant. They usually are throughout the day.
Yeah, I could hear your buddy out there real good. He wants to come back and join.
Roger that, roger that, roger that. Roger that.
That's an echo machine. I haven't heard one of them for, shoot, I don't know, not 77. It's amazing what you can hear on this there frequency 200.
It's amazing.
Well, you know what they say. Roger that.
Yeah, you gotta do that, roger that.
Somebody's smoking something.
Crack, crack.
We're gonna find you.
Smoking a corncob pipe.
I'm gonna find you.
I'm so scared.
Corncob.
A black expedition pulls up in your driveway.
Oh, no.
No, it'll be a UPS van. It'll be stealth.
That's right.
Don't get killed by one first.
Testing 1,
1, 2, testing, 1, 2.
Test, 1, 2, test.
2, test, 1, 2,
Test.
Frequency is now open for test.
Test, 1, 2, 1, 2, test.
Test 1, 2,
Test.
All audio tests commence at this time. Test audio 1, 2, 3, 4.
Test.
Test them if you got them.
Will you be my friend?
No. Of course we'll be your friend.
Would you be my friend?
Yeah. Let's see. KR4 was crying like a baby last night.
Will you be my
what's new?
friend? I mean, would you be my friend?
Gonna need more crying like a baby. I'll be your friend. I call sign is not allowed around here.
I'll do my best to get mine on the 10. Got a minute to go here.
Friend?
Yeah, I'll be your friend.
Hey, Scooby-Doo's out
Is
there.
the frequency in use?
No, this
Can I get a radio check?
Sounds like shit, old man.
What's your 1020? What's your call?
How's my SWR sound?
Sounds horrible, man.
Oh, yeah, both radios sound 20 over at my station. KC9 Mike White.
Your 1020?
Roger that, good buddies.
Try turning the mic gain down to 0, sir. Roger that.
I'll do that.
Roger that.
So it's 5-9 in Kansas.
5-9 Kansas. Oh, that's 5-9 plus.
Kansas. Is Dorothy in Kansas?
There you go. I turned the mic gain down. How am I sounding?
Is that you, Toto?
20 and 30. 20 and 30.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Toto's not in Kansas.
You sound bodacious, loud and proud.
I got you to 5-5 in the wheat fields of Kansas.
5-5 Wheatfield of Kansas. Oh, man, I'm glad I can reach back home if I ever get out there.
Don't hurt no soul.
Hey, what do you think about that Zelensky, huh? He says it's like a grant, like a gift.
Yeah, that's a solid 5-5 right there. You sound good. Whatever. No heart, no soul.
Shove my boot up his ass, or Roger that.
Mine up his ass, too.
Hey, now what you doing?
That business, but it is what it is. Release the Kraken. It's the wizard I
Release the Kraken, I say.
Don't have to get him doing that.
Homer, is that you?
Roger that.
Roger that.
Oh, you're weak, Homer. You're weak.
I need her down here, Roger that.
Where you at, Darren? W09E.
Wow. Oscar Charlie November.
What are you doing with your underwear down?
Test. Testing.
I said you ain't hit my...
DK.
You sound good, like a radio should, 10-4.
Testicles.
Oh, come on now, I couldn't have thought of something.
10-9, can you repeat that?
I hear you, testicles. Hey, what do I do? The turkeys coming around. They're eating my grass seed. What do I do?
Shoot the bastards.
Shoot the bastards? Okay, I don't have a shotgun. Can I use an AR?
Use an IR or a pitching wedge. Have fun and make your turkey snare.
Put a Biden poster out there.
After that. See, I know
can hear me up here in Canada.
I got deer shit and turkey shit all over my lawn.
Oh, I feel so
I'll make you a simple turkey snare. Look it up, Google it, and see what's the easiest way, and then catch that little bugger.
Roger that.
Roger that. Roger that.
Roger that. That Roger.
I think that was the same person.
Jesus, that Roger fella's got a lot of friends.
You're doing Roger that. Goodbye.
Roger Ramsey.
Deal with it.
I'll be taking my throat off. Anybody out there need a radio check? Have 0 BSU. You done had your turn.
So that time is over with. The radio check thing is time. No, that window is closed.
Every sound, every station had a radio.
Test, test, test.
Now, whether they had a console or not is another question.
Hey, you kids, get off my lawn right now. Roger, kids. Roger that. Roger. Hey, who's this guy?
Don't make me fool myself.
Roger.
Sound like a homo.
The reason they made psychiatrists.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah, boys. I'm putting my satellite in the space tomorrow.
Hey, you kids, get off my lawn. Roger that. 10-4, good buddies. Roger that. Yes, sir. I'm tuning my amp, so just be patient. Sit for a while.
Tuning up.
And, smoke a joint. Whatever.
Squeaking it out. Oh, boy. More squeaky.
Squeaky, where you at, Squeaky? We need Squeaky in here tonight.
He's in the bathtub playing with Elmo.
It got me a
Probably playing with his rubber ducky.
How do I sound?
Oh, rubber ducky, you're the one.
Got me a belt bang. I got me a belt bang. I got me a belt bang walkie-talkie. Roger that.
What the hell is he talking about?
All right, who's playing with a full deck tonight?
I ain't heard of one yet.
Where are all the white women at?
I didn't hear you, young white women.
I say, where are all the white women at?
I didn't hear you, young white women in here.
Did that on the street, they'd lock you up.
All the white women are in Virginia Beach.
That's all right, son. I'll shove it up around later.
Here's the frequency in use.
Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Lima November for ID.
Well, that ID went by pretty fast, but welcome aboard KC9 Mike Mike.
Sounds like everybody took their meds tonight.
Yeah, or they got on a full belly. They're content. They've gotten fed, you know.
QSL, you all are having fun. It's a good night. The band seems to be in good shape.
Yeah, it seems to be working. I don't think there's any fading. I haven't heard any critter yet that faded out from previous transmissions, but
QSL, I won't keep it. I'll let everybody have their fun. I'll just sit here and monitor and chip in when I feel necessary.
I just want to know if you want to come on.
all right, well, appreciate you coming in with call signs. You used one or two or three. Very seldom do they throw them out here, but yeah, welcome aboard.
Always fun at the zoo.
Squeaky, is that you?
I like big tits.
How about it, Squeaky? You got your ears on?
Oh no, not tonight, not tonight. Can I get a relay on that CW? Da-da-da-da. That's the last I caught. I can barely hear it.
What is that? Beep, 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 beep.
Hey, old man, your hearing aid's squealing. Kilo Charlie 9, Mike, on the side.
Okay, 0 BSU on the 30. Y'all have a great one. I'm on a QSY, Kansas, operator Big Mo.
Will you be my friend? Won't you be my neighbor?
Eat shit.
You're fucking fired. Yeah, you should be fired. How fucking dare you? You dick. How dare you? You dick. Sure, why not? I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna shove peanut butter up your nose. Use the frequency in use. It's the frequency in use.
God bless Donald J. Trump and the United States of America.
Roger that. That's you, George. Center Trump Lane Hero.
Shut up.
Hey, you got from over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, Nancy Pelosi is so sexy.
Clever boy.
These nuts. These nuts.
I gotta make poopies. I got an Obama stuck up my ass. I would think that would hurt. I gotta take a bite in. Clever boy.
Sound like they're constipated, old man.
Probably.
You got to dive up with your lighter.
Probably.
Shut up, Baba Boy.
I'm not going to be a mountain on the table. Probably.
Shut up, Copkey Jr.
Probably.
America. Yeah.
These nuts. Nazareth, PA, homo.
Probably. Probably. Probably.
N0 XA. These nuts.
Look it up.
Probably.
Let her warm up.
Probably. Probably. K5 RZV. Good evening, all.
How you doing there, Greg?
What's up, Larry?
I'm running 50 watts.
Hold on, let me put my headphones on.
Roger that.
Roger that.
Roger that.
Roger that.
Roger that. Wow.
Now you can add another 0 to that.
6 dB of attenuation tonight, a little static level, kind of high.
God bless. I'm the United States of America.
It's been pretty
Man, I've had a day. Watch a little fish pond. I got a koi pond
out here earlier today. We were having a conversation. It was an uneventful day, believe it or not, on the frequency.
Stop it, you're turning me on.
So I had to drain it out, clean it out, get the fish out of it, and pull all the rock that was around it out, pull the liner out, get it cleaned, and then get it patched up. It's been a whole ordeal. Wow.
You got to get a whole new liner?
Well, it's a plastic drop-in, kind of like pond, you know what I mean? And, but it has so I use the gasket maker.
Well, if you don't move it around, it might work.
It'll work. It's not the first time I've done it. I've repaired it before, but I just haven't had it out in a while, so.
Anybody want to come to my bukkake party?
No.
That's better than buying a brand new liner, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if I can find that shape anymore because it's a hardened plastic drop-in, you know, and the ground that goes in and shape to it. And I don't know if I can find that shape anymore. So if I bought a new one, I might have to dig the hole out and then set it in there and then fill it in with sand and then put the rock around it and all that shit like that. It's probably about 20 years old.
Oh, okay, so that's not like a line, that's like an insert.
Yeah, it's like a drop-in. It's shaped kind of like a kidney, you know? Or maybe a peanut.
J. Trump and the United States of
I got it, that's like an insert. I'm thinking like a regular old liner above ground pull. No, that's like an insert.
It's a koi pond.
I got you.
It's about 10 feet long and 5 feet wide. Hey, Squeaky.
21 years old.
Yeah, I would get out the RTV.
I got out the RTV, so I'm going to fix it. If it doesn't work, I'm going to go find another one.
Hi, Squeaky.
But I fixed it before with RTV, and that was about 10 years ago, and that patch is still good, and it was the black RTV.
So just as long as you get it good and dry it out real good and get it warmed up.
Oh, I did. I cleaned it, and I cleaned it with rubbing alcohol, let it dry, and then I warmed it up with a blowtorch a little bit, just waved it over it, and then I applied that shit, and I let it set out in the sun, and then I let that side dry, and then I flipped it over, and then I did the other side.
Oh, yeah,
I flipped her over and did the other side too.
Yeah, I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'm going to put it back in.
Hey, you get another 10 years out of this one.
I hope so, man. The fish survived the winter. I've got 2 koi in there.
We got 2 goldfish ponds here. They're great big. And for some reason, they last. They go into what's called a state of stasis. And there's fish in both ponds.
Yeah. Kind of like their hibernation, man, you know?
You can see when it freezes over, you can see them in there, and they're just like motionless. You think they're dead, but they're not.
Crazy.
They got their snozzles sticking out getting there. You're talking about alligators.
I usually knock a hole in the ice. What I do for them, when it gets covered like that, I'll take a shovel or something and knock a big hole in one end.
That's what I'm going to have to do next year because I can't let it swell up like that again. It'll bust it.
Yeah, you don't want to swell up and bust.
You don't want that, man. You got to have relief.
I hate when it swells up.
But it's been a 6-hour ordeal today, and I'm sure.
Oh, must took one of them pills.
2 more hours tomorrow. But
We had people down the street when I grew up. They had a regular in-ground concrete pool. They used to put 55-gallon drums in it in the wintertime.
Put the fish back in there. And
Mark a pond at a time.
nice. Hello, radio land. She's working, dude. Hello, radio land. Yeah. Boy, come up out there. Feeling the power. Get up, get up, get up. Time to get on that radio. Steak and potato. Oh, yeah.
Can I have someone ejaculate my mouth?
Baked potato and salad with some ranch and a glass of sweet tea. Oh, no.
Did I hear my name? K0PKE.
Shut up!
Yes, sir.
That's PKE Jr. If your name is...
Where's everybody at?
Yeah.
I'm looking to find a load of sand tomorrow, so kind of searching the internet.
You
Try the beach.
More sand under it?
Yeah, well, it was 8-inch out of level because I had so much rock around it, and I think rock was pushing down on it on one side, and water was leaking underneath it, so it was just pushing, it kept pushing down. So I'm going to level it out, but I need some sand to put up underneath there.
Awesome.
RZV.
N0 XAX.
I don't know if I want to have like a half ton delivered.
That's a lot of sand.
I mean, I don't know. I'll have to, once I get it set up, I'll have a better idea.
Roger, Charlie Mike, Mobile, 7200.
Hello, audio.
Audio.
Audio. Hello, audio.
Well, goddamn, Home Depot's got 50-pound bags, but they're $5 a piece. Well, premium play sand, 50-pound bag is $7.31.
Everything expensive nowadays.
God almighty, man. $5 for a bag of sand.
There's some guy on YouTube that's a prospector. He buys these bags of sand like that, and he takes his little prospecting pan, and he found like $15 of gold in one of these sand bags.
Oh, it's black sand.
Black sand?
Yeah.
Shit.
They buy bags of black sand, man.
I'm sure the cats love it.
I got my grandpa's canteen that he carried in World War II while he was going through all the Pacific Islands on his way to Iwo Jima, and he was over there for a while. And in the bottom of that canteen, there's still black sand in it. Or in the bottom of the case, that kind of like the. I'm not sure what the case was made out of. The canteen was aluminum, but the material that the canteen fit in says it's like green. It's got US on the side. It's all faded and beat the fuck up.
It's probably made out of canvas and got some buttons on it. Not buttons, but snips.
Yeah, the canvas. There you go. I went brain dead for a minute. Anyways, I guess he never washed that, man. I was looking at that one day and it still got black sand down the bottom of it. I was like, I'll never wash this.
No, you know why he didn't wash it? Because he was more worried about getting killed.
You're damn right. I don't know how he got it home, but I got a lot of his stuff. He carried a camera with him through the whole time, and he took pictures everywhere he go. I've got black and white pictures of all the places he went, and native people on those islands and shit, and battle, and dead Japanese, and I mean all his buddies and stuff. It's amazing.
Those were real men.
I love looking at it, man. I've got all his medals and stuff that he got, and his Colt 45 that he somehow smuggled home, and it's all dinged up and beat up, tarnished, and it's in a leather case, embossed, says US on it.
Donald Trump says that they're
Those are to be cherished.
Yeah.
Suckers and losers, that's what Donald Trump says.
Shut up, Mickey. We don't care.
Well,
He wrote a letter, like a memoir, like a 5-page letter about his experience in Iwo Jima, and it's amazing that he even survived.
Donald Trump says he's a sucker.
Well, you ought to watch that movie sometime on the Bataan Death March. Those Japanese were some vicious sons of bitches.
Loser, don't forget loser.
Yes,
he
sir.
don't like people who've been in combat or in the armed forces because he's never
He
been.
writes in there that, like towards the end, people were jumping off cliffs and stuff, and they were watching them.
Donald Trump was pushing them off.
They'd rather die, I guess, from the suicide than be captured.
Well, then you Donald.
Well, yeah, they found a lot of them in caves too that they had committed harakiri. That's where they take their sword and they shove it through their heart.
Donald Trump says they're losers. They're suckers because they died and he's alive with all their money.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. There.
Well, you have to care. He's your goddamn president, not mine.
He's like
He's your
just
president.
above the noise level, just barely.
Hey, Squeaky, God bless.
He's not coming in here very good either. I hear him out. He's about 3-ish units.
Suckers and losers. Suckers and losers.
He's going to be running them 100 watts.
American soldiers who are killed. Suckers and losers.
Thank God.
God bless.
That's some interesting stuff there. You ought to get yourself a flatbed scanner. I got a Canon here, and you need to scan all those photos and put them in digital format.
Oh, that'd be great.
They got them. You can get them anywhere. I got one that's from Canon, and I took a lot of our family photos out of here, and I scanned them and put them in digital format in case anything would ever happen to the originals.
There's one that it's like a bunch of native women, and all their tits are out. They didn't wear.
Oh no, they're tits.
Skirts and shit on. He
got some good pictures.
We're all standing around just smiling like, God damn.
Hey, you're not allowed to carry on like this on the radio.
A lot of interesting.
You can't say tit on the radio.
Oh, trash.
That's illegal. Can you say vagina and penis?
K5.
You offended me.
How about if I told you all are trash?
Women have slots and men have nickels.
They're sad.
They're going to be as much or more.
They usually are more expensive.
We got one here, and they're always higher than Home Depot.
I wish we had I think it's called Menards. They got Menards, Menards up north, and they're massive. Like they have everything. And I wish we had one of those here. All we have is Home Depot and Lowe's and Westlake hardware stores or Ace Hardware.
People are going to start seeing some increases on stuff coming from overseas too when those tariffs go into effect here. But I got no problem with that. They need to do that. They need to put the tariffs on it, stuff like that, because these countries have been getting a free ride for too long.
Yeah, I think it needs to be fair across the board.
Yeah, they've been dumping their junk here, so now we're going to manufacture our own junk.
They've been dumping their cars over here and everything. Now Japan has built quite a few of their factories over here, so at least Japan's trying, but like China and stuff like that, they're trying to sell all this stuff over here. But then when we try to import stuff over into China over there, no, we don't want your stuff.
Trump is doing a good job.
China has nothing that you guys need.
God bless Donald J. Trump.
Lowe's is the same price for their 50-pound bag.
Roger that.
Yeah, they're price fixing.
$4.97 a bag for the 50-pound bag.
Where's Squeaky?
That almost sounds like the prices on. You ever check the prices on Icom, Kenwood, and Yazoo from one ham vendor to another? They're always pretty close together.
Expensive.
I know, but the thing of it is, you notice that Icom, Kenwood, and Yazoo, if you buy one from DX or if you buy one from Gigaparts or from HRO or wherever, they're usually pretty much the same price.
Yeah. Where
is a twerp.
Where's Squeaky?
Squeaky is a twerp. Adam. Squeaky is a twerp. Squeaky is a twerp. And a Mongolian idiot.
Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
Squeaky is a twerp.
Baba Booey.
And a Mongolian idiot.
Roger that. Hell's Uncle Hornet that? I haven't heard of him in a while. Shut the fuck up, man. That's a shitty thing to say. Right, Horse is a friend of mine.
Oh, is he talking smack about Horse when he's not here?
Talk shit about a man. Tell
Roger that.
passed away.
Cloudy's a creature. Cloudy's a creature. Cloudy's a creature.
Fucking asshole.
That's that shit disturber from 3927. I know who these people call. I'll sit up there in the evening and I listen. I go down there and I listen to those guys in the evening into the wee hours, and I recognize their voices and I look at the signals, and some of them are the same voices, the same signals I see up here.
Damn Skippy, get their calls.
Well, I want to be sure though. I just don't want to say, oh yeah, I think this is the guy.
Well, I don't understand. Oh, you're right. There's the guy. You ain't nothing more than a fucked butthole.
But there's one of them up there that's talking smack about 2200 all the time, but I'm pretty sure that's the guy that's coming up here.
That's the guy. You look like fucked butthole.
No.
I got a chuck roast in my air fryer that's about done.
Oh, yeah.
I got it on roast. It's got a roasting setting. Boy, that thing smelling, making the whole house smell good.
Oh, yeah.
Smells like grandma's house, huh?
Man. Home cooking, dude. Smells good.
I'll be eating here in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get out of here and go tend to this thing. 10-0XAX. We'll catch you later.
Catch you later, Larry. K5 RGB.
He's gonna get on the internet and look at some fucked butthole. Somebody spends all that money on a radio station, and that's all they can say, something about buttholes. It's a sad thing for you, brother.
Apparently, if he's fucking the wrong ones, you know, chick butthole doesn't smell, dude. You've been humping dudes.
Is this the gay frequency? Is this the LGBTQABC whatever? Really, with a faggot? Well, I think he's already knew that.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Yes, sir, that's me. Baba Booey.
Booey Baba.
That's me. Baba Booey.
Baba
What?
Booey.
Baba Booey, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Baba Booey.
Booey Baba.
Yes, sir, I'm Baba Booey.
Check your email.
Okay, you check your email, pal.
Historic allies were now drifting dangerously apart thanks to Trump siding with Russia over Russia's invasion.
Check your email.
The big headline coming out of it was,
Will you send me threatening emails again?
right hand. Media, do better.
K0PKE is sending dick pics.
Global implications of black and sacre blue. Looks like he's stuck with Dale's guacamole.
That's Sir Goliath? Sir Goliath sending me dick pics in the email again?
They also had a weird handshake. First, there was
Oh, helps if I turn my amp on. There we go.
this thing where Trump keeps grabbing
And Sir Goliath sending me dick pics again.
Eventually, they had to clear the room when Trump established dominance by expressing nano plans.
Oh, that was proportionately disgusting.
Go on, you say.
There's Baba Booey.
Yeah, next week I'll have to start buying the corn on the cob here in Canada. You say corn on the cob? K0PKE likes the cob from the backside.
No, thank you.
Jigga-boom, jigga-boom, jigga-boom.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
Baba Booey likes it in the back end.
No, only when I had my colonoscopy, because that was for needed reasons, obviously.
That's our unloading zone.
They had to look for the gerbil. I know your wife likes it there.
Did somebody say something about my wife?
Yeah, I did.
Why would you do that?
Because she told me you were a good person.
All right, what kind of shit are you feeding me?
Well, I ain't feeding you no shit, man. It's what his wife feeds him. You didn't know that I knew your wife, did you?
You do not.
Well, I can tell your measurements.
Really? Can you tell me, like, important information about her?
Well, I don't want to be too graphic.
Go ahead.
Well, I
Yeah, nice try.
phone number.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I already have yours.
Ha.
Frequency in use is a frequency in use. Don't really really talk much when we get together.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever, right?
Yeah, whatever, because she's disabled, she has multiple sclerosis, she can't walk, and her legs are locked in a crisscross fashion at this time. So, yeah, I don't think she's going to be doing anything for you. You need to get a signal, sir. You need to get an entry-level signal. Even Squiggy needs to get a signal. Baba Booey, K0, PKE. K0, PKE.
Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot.
Hey, Squeaky!
Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot.
Squeaky! God bless Donald J. Trump! God bless Donald J. Trump!
Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot. Squeaky is a twerp. Squeaky is a twerp. Squeaky is a twerp. Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot.
Kings aren't allowed in our country. Kings aren't allowed in our country.
Squeaky is a twerp. Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot.
Baba Louie.
Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot. Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot. Squeaky is a twerp. Squeaky is a twerp. Squeaky is a twerp. Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot.
Vote Trump.
Squeaky is a twerp and a Squeaky is a twerp and a Mongolian idiot. Squeaky is a twerp. 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 Squeaky is a twerp.
Well, the next bullet will hit Donald J. Trump in the head.
Squeaky is a twerp. 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 Squeaky is a twerp.
Nova Scotia here, Victor, code 3.
God bless Donald J. Trump of the United States of America.
Baba Booey.
I was wondering if the individual who's usually here, I believe he goes by the name of Dick, just giving him a shout out from Nova Scotia, Victor, code 3 then. Alright, hearing now one, QST, we're going to start a net. Victor, Echo 3 in Nova Scotia, Canada. QST, we're calling in that. This is net control, rapid, can you please turn off the left and check? Alright, calling all radio amateurs, please check it now.
Hello, radio. Wake 'em up. Who's on the band? Who's on? Anybody on?
Oh, there's always somebody on the band, over.
I know you are in Alabama.
Yes, sir, in the heart of Dixie, definitely. And you're in the great state of Texas, man. Doing a good job, man. I love working Texas. I gotta get my antenna more configured working Texas and Oklahoma. There's a lot of good guys like yourself out there. I'm not sure exactly what portion of Texas you're in, but you're doing a great job. 20 plus over tonight, over.
Yeah, it does pretty well. This location plays okay. Just wires on this end, simple wires, dipoles up in trees, and that's easy to take care of. And yeah, we're doing okay. Here in kind of northwest of Houston, 50 miles northwest of Houston. Is kind of in the woods out here, kind of out in the, well, I can't call it the boonies anymore. There's so much stuff getting built up out here these days. Man, been out here in this location about 10 years. There's been a lot of change out here in the last 4 years. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, copy that. I totally understand. A lot of people moving. I got that. I came out of Florida. I was in Florida almost 10 years, and holy Jesus, here I am in the northwestern portion of Station, Alabama. And yeah, I totally understand. A lot of change, especially with Texas. A lot of Californians. It's not just Californians. I think people from New York,
during the whole COVID thing, 2021, that kind of changed the whole dynamic that throughout the South, from Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, all the way to Florida. It just changed everything, the whole dynamics of these states. So that's my personal opinion. But listen, you're running 20 over northwest of Houston. Like I said, I'm northwestern Alabama. Doing a great job there tonight, brother.
Yeah, we got good. You always got a good signal here in Texas. It's kind of quiet out there tonight. Not hearing much activity. I guess everybody's worn out, and trying to rest to get ready for the next rowdy session here on 7200. What do you think?
It's just a day-by thing. I didn't get your first name, but yeah, it's just a day-by thing. The name here is Ted Tango Echo Delta, but yeah, it's a day-by-day thing. You just don't know.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Ted. Name's Martin here. And, you never know. I imagine there's a lot of ears out there on this frequency right now, but they just kind of comatose, taking it easy and taking a breather,
Yeah, I didn't get, what was your first name real quick?
Yeah, Martin's the name.
Yeah, Mr. Martin. Thank you for telling me that, because I hate to say you or he or something like that, but Martin, absolutely. And, it goes without saying, a lot of people, you said like in 75 meters, and I listen a lot, and a lot of people, they just listen here, and they'll bitch about this particular frequency, especially on 75 and different bands and stuff like that, and I kind of laugh about it. Why, if you hate this particular frequency, why would you come here at 7.200? You know what, and Martin, I can't challenge you that they can't wait to hear what's going to be said next. I mean, they you know how it is, boring on different frequencies, working nets and this and that. This frequency just stops. It's just there's a bunch of nuts, jobs, crazies, and stuff like that. Hopefully, each and every one of them are licensed, but it makes this frequency a lot of fun. Over.
Oh, yeah, ain't no doubt about it. It's like having 100 cooks, cooking at the same time, throwing what they got in the pot, and you never know. You come up with something different every time. That's what makes it so unique. This is the frequency on 40 meters, by God, and it's always a surprise,
Absolutely, Mr. Martin. It absolutely is. It's each and every day. You never know what you're going to get. And you're right. There's a lot of ears listening. Trust me. But we're not the only ones out here in this sacred island, so to speak, tonight. Over.
No, that's all right. It's all cool. Yeah, what's so? I haven't heard. Okay, well, I've been out. I've been on here in a couple of weeks. I was down in Jamaica for a couple of weeks playing around, and so I didn't. I was mainly on 10 meters for the most part. QRP. Worked a lot of stuff down CW and all that stuff with that low power. And I just wasn't in a good enough location, to put out a 40-meter antenna. But I don't think QRP power would have done the job here on 7200. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, Mr. Martin, WB6, WCO Friday. I totally agree. Looking at keywords that, bands for every night, and a lot of hot hopping on, 20, 15, and 10 meters, down below. I haven't really got into that mode situation, so that's something that, we're peaking the band, the 11-year sunspot cycle, so, yeah, for here, I totally understand. 40, yeah, I get it. Yeah, 10 meters has been crazy, but I work a lot of DX on there, but I get to the point where I just don't even want to deal with it, it's, most of it's just, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, 599, and move on to the next call sign, kind of thing. That's fun for a while, but it gets a little monotonous. I kind of feel sorry for some of these guys that having to deal with all these pileups, and find it hard to have a decent conversation without being interrupted, constantly, because they're kind of in high demand, so to speak. Been kind of in that situation before, so I know what it's like. And after a while, you work about everybody that's out there, and then there ain't anybody new. You keep working the same people over and over, but there's really not much content to the conversation. Is the sad thing about it. Under those circumstances there, Ted, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Mark, WCO, totally understanding exactly what you're saying. And I've been into this, 50 years? Can you believe that? I've been licensed over 50 years. And more. But yeah, I totally get it. There's some, with me, I just, Martin, it's just, that guy. Dog. Mediocrity, I get all that, and I just enjoy, I did the contest, the chasing down the signals and stuff like that. At this age, I don't have the wherewithal.
Yeah, no, I understand. You say you've been at it for 50 years?
That is absolutely correct. That was actually 51 years. I didn't realize. I was licensed at 11 years old in 1974. That's when I got my novice class license. And I've never forgotten passing that test. That was the scariest thing, to me as an 11-year-old kid. I had to send 5 words a minute and receive it back and write it down correctly. My dad was there. It was a really stressful time when I was a kid. I'll never forget that. Over.
Wow, man, I didn't know you'd been in this thing that long, Ted. You sound like, you're younger than that. I didn't know, yeah. Yeah, I got started in 1968. I was 12, and so I've been in it for 57 years now. But, it's all cool. Yeah, it was a different time back then, and so I guess you had to go down, when you got your novice, and I think the novice was good for 2 years. I know at least 1 year, but most people, if they decided they wanted to continue on, they would get their general class within a year, and then you had to go down to an F.C.C. office and take, code test and the written exam and all. Go ahead.
Man, you nailed that, Martin. That is, you just bringing back, reminding me of time. That is exactly correct. So how it worked out was when I did my license, I got it from, I can't remember, I'm sure it was an extra class. I can't remember who he was or whatever, but he had passed me, and the novices, it should have been a WN call back in 1974. So the F.C.C. came back, and it should have only been good for a year. You're absolutely correct on that. But it came back with the same call that I have today, which I think I'm the original call holder, WB6 WCO. When that came back, I was kind of pissed off and angry, because I had another friend
a lot smarter than me, and he not only passed the novice, he passed the advanced, so he got a WA6 call. And that's another story. Bring it some other day. And I was really just like, damn, they got this WV6 call. So, which now today I cherish, I absolutely cherish. And that's how that went. But what was unusual, Martin, after 1974, when I was issued that call, they extended it. And I don't know what the extension was, but, from 1 year, it moved on. And then from there, I went on to get, the technician, the general, and ultimately the extra class. But, that's how that went. Over.
Teddy, are you drinking beer?
Yeah, wow, that's pretty, well, there were a lot of dynamics taking place, over the years. Yeah, I had a WN5 WTBs and WA5 WTB, and, that was kind of normal. But yeah, to have a WB6, that's pretty wild, they had, I had a friend that, my same age, and the call signs were rapidly advancing, and so they worked their ways out of the WAs into the WBs. WB5, his call was WB5 AAU, but I'm pretty sure he had a WN5 call before he had, when he advanced up to, the advanced class, and when he got his WB5. But yeah, that's kind of, that was back in 1969, 1968 kind of time frame, so I wasn't really paying attention, I guess, to a great deal of what was going on, with the call signs. I mean, quite honestly, I kind of fell out of radio for a while. I'd say it was probably around, I guess, the time you were getting started. I kind of went out of it, and I didn't get back going again until 1980, and was on for a while, for a number of years, and then got out of it again, and then came back active again, but kind of in the 1990s, the late 1990s. Been pretty active ever since then. Yeah, I got that, Mr. Martin, WB6, WCO. Well, I'm going to take you back down memory road. When I got into it, there was the Radio Shack Red Books, and I got a hold of those to help me study to pass my novice class license. And anybody who's ever been around understands the Red Books of Radio Shack. And what was interesting, there was Heathkit Electronics. Heathkit Electronics was a viable business. I mean, you could either buy it or get it or build it, back in the day when I grew up. And what was interesting, learning the information, and because there wasn't today you can get out there and look at a test pool questionnaire and 300 questions and stuff like that. Back then, it wasn't like that. It's just like either you knew it or you didn't kind of thing. You're going to either pass or not. And but what was highly interesting is learning the information with just simple books and stuff. Back then there were a lot of Elmers back then. I would say there, Mr. Martin, that if they knew you were in the game, they were trying to help you, and they helped you through it. The other thing was my dad personally, he was in a radio. He wasn't an amateur radio operator. He was a CB guy, and I remember him. He had a big booming antenna, and a Palomar 310M mobile amplifier, and a Johnson, I can't remember, 323 or 123 mobile with a preamp microphone. And I mean, that was the era, over.
Yeah, no, I remember cruising, around the neighborhood where I grew up, on a bike and scoping out, where all the hams live. You'd always spot their antennas and all. And no, nobody in my family was even interested in it at all. It was kind of odd. I'm the only one, over all this time that's ever been involved in it. And but yeah, the one book I had, the only book I really had was an ARRL publication, how to become a amateur radio operator. Man, that was the book I became absorbed into for information. But no, there was one guy, in the neighborhood. He was doing some really cool stuff. He homebrewed a lot. A lot of people did homebrew a lot of their equipment. I mean, he had Heathkit. Heathkit was real big back then, but this guy, he had the 75A4 and the companion transmitter, the Collins. But he did a lot of home brewing of amplifiers, 41000, Polpec transformers. He worked for the city that I grew up in, and so he had access to a lot of machining equipment and just about anything he wanted. Because man, he had constructed some really nice homebrew equipment, and believe it or not, man, he had a Spectrum display that he built. He designed back then. He used an oscilloscope for the display, and then he took the IF output of the receiver, of the Collins receiver, and I remember him showing it. He said, "You see that signal there, and he tuned down. There's a signal there, and there's a signal there, and he'd tune around on it, and it changed the location on the oscilloscope." He was kind of ahead of his time. He had only one antenna up. He had a 70-foot self-supporting tower, and he had a 3-element monoband 20-meter beam on it. That's the only band that he operated. And but he was a big DXer, and he was I guess the more interesting individual that I had met at that time. I mean, there were others undoubtedly, but they were pretty much appliance operators. You had your Drake equipment, your Drake lines, your Collins, and there weren't really that many Hallicrafter owners. It was really Collins, Drake,
that sounds so great, man.
Heathkit. There was Swan, but it wasn't that big. Really, I mean, those were the primary players. The Japanese manufacturers were starting to trickle into the arena for sure. Yasu or whatever. But that was about it back then, Good.
Wow, Martin, man, you just really awoke in something that I haven't thought about in many, many years. You're absolutely dead on, concise. And, looking back at those times, I was so young. I mean, I was so young. I think at 8 years old, I looked at an antenna on a car, and I couldn't understand how anybody could communicate on that. That's kind of started my journey, and I'm going to get into that. But my dad was really cool. He was a good man. He had a 58 Dodge Charger, and he wanted to hunt. My dad was an aircraft mechanic and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into all that, but he brought me into radio through Citizen Band radio, and that's where I experienced single sideband and things that I'd never heard before, AM and stuff like the T-Berry Model T. I remember we had a T-Berry Model T. Dad immediately.
Excuse me.
Sorry about that. Listen, I was growing up.
What the hell was that?
Help me understand.
I farted.
Amateur radio. I mean, not.
That's a weird sound fart.
Radio.
Please pardon me. K0PT.
We got a hot grab. I apologize for that. I'm trying to fix that.
You don't hear that guy play that noise out there?
It was very, very interesting experience in the early 70s, over.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, the CB craze was just going wild.
Quiet out here tonight.
I mean, it was huge. And, it's a tough decision. It was a tough decision. Do I take the easy way, to play radio and just go CB, or do I take the hard way and go ham? And, I don't know, I just, that's the way I went for some reason, but man, the CB was just, it was wild back then, I'm sure you're aware of that.
It was probably the coolest time working Citizens Band radio, running a Moonraker 4, Moonraker 6, antenna. Everybody had a handle, their caller ID, so to speak. It was like fun. It was fun. They had the CB breaks. Remember those days? The CB breaks. People would get together. I remember going there. They'd have coffee, beer, and stuff like that. It was a different time. Over.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But CB is huge still. I mean, I don't know if you go tune around, especially with the activity, sunspot activity, man, there's a tremendous amount of activity down there in the CB band. And of course, there's a lot of people running some pretty monstrous power up there, good.
Nothing's changed, and I remember the days of CV way back when. I hadn't been on CV in 20-30 years, and I've been licensed amateur radiographer for over 50 years. Well, I mean, that's where it all started, with CV. Back in the day, Martin, there was a lot of cool people, man. I mean, get-togethers. People did a lot of cool stuff. It was just a different environment in the 70s. I was going to give you a heads up. It was like social media, like today, using your phone. And that's what we had back then, over.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. You're right. That's why it was it had more of a following, I guess, back then. But, what's changed a lot? I mean, a lot of people were rolling their own stuff. They were kind of commercially pretty heavy, especially, in the United States and the like. But, with a lot of the Russian stations, man, they didn't have any commercial equipment at all. I mean, they had to
to build their own equipment. You know, when you'd receive QSL cards, or you'd be on the air explaining what you were running, you know, they would tell you, I've got a you know, a 5 or whatever tube receiver, you know, super hit, and running, you know, a pair of 6146s or whatever for the, you know, 200 watt transmitter, or it was a you know, somebody's call sign design that they were running. But man, those guys, you know, they had to build a lot of their own equipment if they wanted to get on the air with something. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, let me tell you a story behind that. So let's go with the antenna systems on CB radio. But you guys, looking at this, I just think these guys are absolutely brilliant. So from like the Sigma 5/8, the ground plane antenna, there was the Joe gun antenna, there was the Moonraker 4, there was the Moonraker 6, and it goes on and goes on and goes on. I mean, brilliant antenna designs. In fact, I got a buddy out west that has a complete Moonraker 6 antenna system that has never, he's had it since the 70s. I'd love to get that and play with it. But anyway, that's another story. But and then you look at, you know, radios that came in. Pierce Simpson. There was Cobra Pierce Simpson. Robin had radios. I mean, we're talking tube-type radios and stuff like that. I can go on with the list of different transceivers. Then the Golden Eagle came out, and the what is it? I can't think of the other rig, but anyway, all these big dog rigs. And then they got these sweet tube amplifiers, like the Maverick 250, the Phantom 500. It goes on down the road. Over.
Yeah, well, it's some interesting times. I mean, no doubt about it. And, you know, the commercial industry is what's really changed the ability, you know, of people. It really made it easy, I guess, for anyone to get on, and just the commercialization of the hobby. I don't know, man. I had a lot of respect for those guys, you know, those Russians that had, and I mean, it wasn't just them, you know. I mean, it was the whole block there, you know, Poland, Yugoslavia, Lithuania, all those that were kind of under that umbrella at the time, you know, behind the Iron Curtain, so to speak. I mean, even, you know, East and West Germany, you know, there was a big difference between what the West Germans had, you know, available as equipment from the East Germany. You know, they were still having they didn't have access to a lot of the commercial equipment. I don't know, I just kind of had a kind of an appreciation for, you know, what those guys had to go through to, heck, just to be able to get on the air, you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, Martin, WV6WC. No, listen, they were striving for new information back in the time. I mean, the kids today have no idea what we're talking about. We're talking the late 60s, early 70s. Just be able to hear something. And I remember as a kid with I can't remember the receiver Dad brought home. I mean, it was a big receiver. It had the wheels on it. It was an old helicopter. I can't think of what it was, but I would spend countless hours just listening to different radio broadcasts. Yeah, when I was younger,
And I don't know if anybody does that today, but I thought that was just awesome to hear the world, over.
Are you drinking beer?
There was a lot of war surplus equipment, you know, a lot of the BC whatever, which you know, my first receiver was something that came out of an airplane, you know. It covered, I can't remember what the lower frequency was, but I think it worked up to about 18 megahertz or so, but you know, it was continuous coverage, and so you had, you know, all the AM, there were just a load of AM broadcast stations back then, as you're aware of, and you know, I mean, much more than what we have today, by far. But anyway, yeah, those were some interesting times, man. That's for sure. You had Johnson made equipment, you know, like the Johnson Matchbox, the Johnson Adventure transmitter. I can't remember when Tintech kind of entered the field. That was a little bit later, I guess, in the 70s, not necessarily the 60s. You had Swan. They didn't really, I guess, hold on for very long, you know, in their equipment manufacturing and the like. But yeah, I mean, back in the 70s, I guess the early 70s, the Japanese. And man, there were a ton of Japanese operators. Oh my God, I mean, not like today, you know. I mean, there were so many JA stations, you know, a 40-meter band, and we'd work in contests. I mean, these guys were running, you know, like 10 and 15 watts, I guess. You know, the operator class that they had, the privileges they had was, you know, power limited and all, but my God, man, there were so many more than what you hear today. But you're right, you know, I mean, I talk to people, you know, youngsters, you know, old enough to be my kid, and you try to explain to them what you're doing, and I mean, they've never even heard of amateur radio or ham radio. They don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mr. Martin, WB6 WCO, absolutely, man. I mean, you hold that, and there's a lot of kids out here that don't understand. You know, from Collins to a TX1 Apache transmitter, to a Johnson Viking Valiant, to a Johnson Viking Valiant, or Johnson Viking 500 transmitter with key switches. They have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I grew up in that era. It's just like so cool that I was part of that, you know, Martin, and looking at calls, you know, I never had any Collins. Well, I can't remember what it was, an old Collins, but I mean, this stuff was expensive back in the day, over.
Oh my God, yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, not many people could afford that kind of stuff. I remember there were some places and some outlets, you know, warehouses in Houston of surplus, you know, military surplus equipment. I mean, man, our government contracted out all kinds of stuff. I mean, they had racks of, you know, amplifiers, and I mean, I could go in and pull, you know, 813 tubes out of these things, and they'd sell them to me for a quarter, 25 cents. And that was the first amplifier built up, was a pair of A13s. And so, they just had racks and racks of this stuff. Big inductor systems and air variable capacitors, tank circuit stuff, and it was crazy. It was crazy. The amount of manufacturing that the government did back then in the 60s during that era. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'd love to have a cascade of some of that stuff, and I totally understand. I totally get it. I totally understand it. And I'd love to have a badass Power 6146s or whatever on 80 meters. I know 80 meters is kind of dead right now, but it's going to come back. And I hear guys out there, I want to get the system working on, not 80 meters, I'm sorry, it's a 160. I apologize for that. 160. And I want to get something rocking, because I never really, in my career in amateur radio, rocked 160. And there's some kitty cats out there that are doing that as I speak, talking now. I hear them out there, but it's going to get, the conditions, they're going to get better. Over.
Eddie, are you drinking beer?
Yeah. Well, I knew a group of guys, back in the, like I said, the 60s that were real active on 75 meters. That would be their hangout. They didn't operate any other band but 75 meters. They kind of like we're doing right now. And, they build up their 41000s, either a single or a couple of 41000s, and they have a Paul peg transformer with a big variactor to it, where they can adjust their plate voltage supply, what they wanted. But there were some guys running some pretty cool stuff. But that was their 37. What was it? 3893. I think that was the frequency, kind of a watering hole. But for them, I never really got into that. I really hung out on, like 40, 20, and 15 meters were kind of my hangouts personally. I was more CW and chasing DX than anything else. I didn't have really any elaborate antenna systems, so CW was the best mode for me. Due to that fact, like I said, I ran some power with pair 813s, but I wasn't massive power by any means, but it did a pretty good job. But anyway, that's the one thing about the hobby, you can just kind of go in so many different directions. And I've known some guys, the only thing they won't operate anything below 50 megahertz, They're out chasing storms, to reflect off of on 10 gigahertz and stuff. Everybody's got their own niche in the hobby, I guess.
Yeah, Mr. Martin, WB6, WCO. Yeah, I totally agree, man. And you're going to love this. This is 75 is like a parking lot. And you got the niche, you're going to bitch. Just trying to get into that. And I have never found a place, because it's absolutely, it's just like
the 405 freeway or something out in Los Angeles. It's just filled with people and just so much congestion. And but the cool thing is, when I've been exploring on 160, nobody's actually exploring 160. Now there's a few people. So I thought, well, let's just see how this works out. So that's my next mission. Let's see what I can do on 160. And I've got the property. I got over an acre and a half of land, and put us an antenna. And but the guys that I'm listening to, Mr. Martin, great guys. I mean, I think they figured this out before we did. Over.
Well, yeah, 160 is a weird band, man. I played around on it before. I mean, not for rag chewing, for chasing DX and stuff. And I just it's kind of like the band from hell, as far as I'm concerned. And the only other band that's worse than it is 6 meters. Man, we had some openings back in November, I think late October and November on 6 meters. It was F2 there. I mean, we had some killer openings into Europe and into Japan, into Asia. I mean, it was crazy. It was absolutely insane because it's kind of like, it was like a once in a lifetime event. I've never seen 6 meters open up like this as it did this last year in my life. And I mean, the solar flux was up to like 260, and the sun was still in the northern hemisphere, so we were getting enough ionization in the northern hemisphere to make that connection work. But the problem was that, man, there were so many people rushing to the scene. It was chaos. It was just chaos. It was just absolute insanity. And it was, I don't know, man, it was just like total frustration, You'd be trying to work people, but there were so many people trying to work the same station. Your chances of getting through were not very great, so to speak. Where on the other hand, 160 meters is like watching the grass grow, I mean, it's the ghost band. I mean, literally, a signal will pop out all of a sudden, and then it's gone. If you're not there at the right moment, you never catch it. But you're kind of like listening to nothing for such a long period of time. I mean, if you're on there, just to rag to the people that are, like between us, Texas and Arkansas, or Texas and the East Coast, West Coast, or Middle, that's a different ball game. But I imagine a lot of people migrate there, for one, because they do have enough room to put an antenna up, and to escape, some of the congestion on 75 meters, probably. Go ahead. Yeah, Mr. Martin, no, the impetus that you're putting, just, I'll tell you one myself that I experienced some years ago. It was, I think, 1974, 70.
Really making me mad, mister.
I was down at a classroom at the Heat Kit. There was a Heat Kit shop that they back in the days, Martin, they posted classes to learn amateur radio and stuff like that. But this particular episode where I was at, this gentleman had an HT, it looks like a G.I. Joe rig, for 2 meters. And he was, he clicked it on, he was talking about it. All of a sudden, Hawaiian came in. And it was, I'll never forget that, Martin, the station out of Hawaii. And he keyed it up, and he was running less than 5 watts, working the high, Hawaii, and with tropospheric ducting. And I was just like, I've never, to this day, I've never experienced that, but I was just like amazed. The contact, to this day, I think about that. That was amazing. That contact.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about something that takes place like on the 2-meter band, right?
Check.
Yes, sir. He had a 2-meter HT. It looked like a G.I. Joe rig.
Check.
Yeah, no, I've witnessed tropospheric ducting, man, along the coast here is where it really prevails, and that's some weird stuff, man. I'm telling you right now, that's some really weird stuff. I was doing a bunch of fishing back in the 80s, the mid-80s, and so, I was doing a bunch of offshore fishing, and I'd taken a couple buddies out, and we ran into a bunch of cocaine floating out there in the Gulf. And I mean, it was, a good number of kilos of it on a pallet. And we decided we needed to radio it in. It was caught in a weed line about 20 miles out of Galveston, Texas. And when we radioed it in, we didn't get the Galveston Coast Guard. We got the Coast Guard way down in South Texas. I mean, down around Brownsville. And, we were like spooked out, I mean, here was this stuff floating around out there, and we were going like, man, do we radio this stuff in? Because somebody else knows this stuff is out here, and they're looking for it. And if we say where we're at, we may get ourselves killed out here. And so when we didn't make connection to Galveston, it was down around Brownsville, we were like, oh my God, what in the hell's going on here? And so the Brownsville Coast Guard station called the Galveston Coast Guard station, and they got on the air, and we couldn't hardly hear them. And so, it was like, right off the bat, we were like, what in the hell's going on here? And we're not going to tell them, right where we're at. And man, the seas were starting to get rough. They said they were going to come out and meet us, and they never showed up. And so we decided, we need to get on in. We need to go on in to port. And man, when we got there in the jetties, in the north-south jetties, they had every Coast Guard boat out there stopping, everybody coming in, everybody. They were searching everyone. And anyway, they knew the description of our boat, so they came over, they docked up alongside us, and these guys, they put on their rubber gloves and stuff, because we didn't know what we found. We didn't know what was in these kilos, so we cut one of them open,
to see what was in there, and it was, this white powder, and man, it was just sucking up the moisture like crazy. It was just, totally uncut cocaine, and so they get up alongside the boat, like I said, they go through and they start searching the boat and stuff and asking questions, and I mean, they could have ripped my boat apart, if they wanted to, but they pretty much believed our story, and they took all of it and then headed back in. And when we got in and got the boat on the trailer, we're headed back, to where I kept the boat. We tuned in on some of the AM stations, and man, they were coming up with all kinds of stories. They were saying, it was 3 of us. They were saying 5 fishermen make the $1 million catch, and describing, but every one of them was like telling, every radio station was telling a different story, from reality. But what was spooky about it was that each one of those broadcast stations was listening in, to what was happening, because in a matter of minutes, I mean, they knew that something had happened, and they were getting ready they were broadcasting it out, you know what I mean?
Mr. Mark, that is absolutely an awesome story. I can only imagine the terror, that you and your crew went through after discovering this cache of bubbling up these things that are out there. But wow, it just blows my complete mind. Go ahead and continue on. I love the story of it.
Well, what happened? I mean, what happened in reality is there was a boat out there, and this storm came up. I mean, it was a freak storm. Here it was, summertime. Okay, it was like July, and the month of July, and some freak storm brewed up out in the Gulf, and here was this boat with all these drugs on it, and it got torn to shreds, man. I'm serious. That boat was torn to shreds because in that weed line was just debris, from that boat, and so this stuff was washing up along the beaches, along Bolivar Peninsula. Man, people were scrambling in four-wheelers, going up and down the beach at night, looking for this stuff to wash up ashore. And we just happened to come up. It's like if you had been looking for it, you'd have never found it, and it was just caught up in a big, thick weed line. I don't know if you ever witnessed anything like that. You get this sorghum weeds that just, with the currents out there that form, you get these like long weed lines, they go for miles, and they collect all the debris that's floating around out there in the water. It's like two different masses of water density coming together, and that forms these weed lines and all this debris. And in a matter of hours, that weed line will just completely disperse because the currents stop and everything. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to find this stuff. I mean, it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack. It was just, just sheer luck. Not luck, I don't know what the hell I call it. We even came upon it. But when I saw it, I was like, man, something ain't right here. We were fishing, and it's not uncommon to fish these weed lines because you get a lot of bait fish that likes to get under those weeds, and the predators are right in along these weed lines. So we were fishing it, and we weren't catching anything. After we fished, I went back to that spot, and we went in there, and we got a gaff and got that pallet of stuff and, brought it over on into the boat. And, man, that was a wild, that was a wild experience. It ain't no joke. Go ahead. Yeah, Mr. Martin, WB6, Northwest.
Sounds like a party!
An amazing story. I love listening to the way you described it and what you dealt with and the crew and stuff like that. I mean, things happen out in the water, over.
Party!
Yeah, it was wild, man. Yeah, it was the way they packaged those kilos was incredible. I mean, they had multiple layers of like mylar and fiberglass, material around it, probably about 7 layers, and then a wax around it. And on the outside of it, they had the letter Centava on them. And it was on each kilo. And, there was no way anything could penetrate into those things. Like I said, when we cut into one of them, it was just white powder, and the moisture it was sucking up out of the air was just incredible. So they had to really pay a great deal of effort into packaging those things. And but anyway, that was probably the wildest fishing trip I ever been on in my life. I can only imagine, Martin, WB6WCO, probably won't experience that again, over.
I bet that trip lasted for more than a day.
That's an uncommon event in one's life, that's for damn sure. It was, I don't think I got any sleep that night. And you know what was crazy about it was, I went to work, oh my God. And I'm trying to think of who it was. There were some guys that called my boss on the phone. They were like, I'm trying to think of what enforcement they were with. They weren't in uniform, okay? They were like in regular civilian clothing and, and drove around in a regular, civilian unmarked vehicle. They're like special agent individuals, government, law enforcement. And so they called my boss, and my boss calls me and informed me that there's a couple of guys, from something, I can't remember what it was, they were wanting to meet me at a Denny's restaurant in the parking lot, okay? And so I go over there and I meet them, and what they were doing was they gave me a cash reward, okay? It was like $250 or something like that for turning this stuff in. It was, a couple $1 million worth of drugs, and they were handing me a cash reward of about $250 for being, a good, honest citizen turning this stuff in. Go ahead. You can't make those up. I love listening to your story. Yeah, at Denny's restaurant, here's your $250. Listen, we'll cover the pancakes. We'll cover the bacon. Yeah. Wow. I know, it's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. It's like, I mean, it was bizarre. It was just totally bizarre. The whole daggone thing was just, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a nightmare. It really wasn't a nightmare. It was just, it's just what happened. What else can I say? But it's kind of one of those things, you never expect. And, every turn of it was like crazy. You know what I mean? Absolutely, Bird. Man, good working you, buddy. WB6, Northwestern Alabama. Hey, listen, you were just fishing, doing your business, over? Yeah, I was... Oh, my God. Yeah, we would, there were three of us out that day. There was the one guy that was out, we'd always go. There was one guy that I'd always go fishing with. He was a technician at a place that I worked at that time. And he was an older guy, man. Actually, he was a ham operator, but he wasn't active at all. He wasn't active at all. But he was a World War II fighter pilot. He shot down Japanese planes, man, out in the Pacific. Seriously, he loved to fly. And he flew a Hellcat. He said those were some pretty wild times, man, really wild times. He could tell you some stories, dude, but he loved to fish. Both of us did, and so, but anyway, yeah, that was something, you just never forget. Go ahead, AI5IN. Listen, you did a great job. I love this. I love the story. Let me jack out of here. I'm going to take a restroom break. You're killing it, Mr. Martin. I love the story. Totally get it. This could happen to anybody out there on the open waters. Over. Well, yeah, it's true. We would always go on like a Thursday. We'd take a day off. We'd take a day off, a vacation day off, because we always want to get out there before the what we'd call the weekend warriors would get out there. And so we'd get a head start out. And there wouldn't hardly be anybody else out there except, maybe some guys, some guys out of Galveston taking clients out. But there wouldn't be many people out there. 7203. And so, yeah, it was something else, man. I know. It sounds like a fishy story, you know what I mean? But it is the honest to God's truth, man. Not kidding you one bit. Not one bit. But yeah, you take a break. I'm going to do the same here. I'll come back in a bit. But this is AI5IN Clarence.
Scott here. Did I miss all the excitement?
What excitement? What I miss? N9RON.
Hey, Ron. N9EAW, Tom, Southeast Wisconsin. Says, well, out working DX and whatever, and I come back here and it's a ghost town. So I guess I missed the excitement.
Yeah, I decided to take a nap.
Well, it's not a really bad thing to have a quiet night out here once in a while.
Yep, this is true. Very true.
Well, the band hasn't gone long either. I still cop the fish during the day.
Yeah, I got somebody here just tearing me up. They must be real close in frequency.
Yeah, there's some kind of concept going on. I just heard him talking about it. I think he's up on 02.
Kill Alpha 2 Fox Papa Zanzibar, please.
Go ahead, FPZ.
Hey, Ron. I hear that QRM2, but you're ripping right through it. How am I doing?
Oh, yeah, you're coming right over it. It's just, it's strong enough here. It's kind of irritating, but whatever. I didn't know there was a contest.
I didn't know either. Do you know what contest it is?
No, I don't know. I hadn't heard anything.
Well, don't matter to me. I'm talking to you. The song and single is 5'9" and you're 20 over, so I'm not too worried about it.
Where you ought to be!
All right, gentlemen. Well, sounds like we woke some people up, so I'll hop out of here. But y'all have a good night, and take her light from N9EAW.
All right, you have yourself a fine night. We'll catch you some other time. 7-3, N9RON.
Ron from KX2U. I can't wait till the weather backs off a little bit. I got the antenna, but I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but I ordered an antenna. Sorry if I'm talking a little weird because I got the headphones. There's a slight delay. Let me take them off, actually. So I finally got the antenna. Now, I just need to stow it up, back off a little bit so we can start in. The tower's already there. Everything's there. The antenna's right here. So, ready to go. We're just waiting for the weather.
Wow, well, congratulations. Yeah, I heard you saying you bought an antenna. I didn't catch quite what it was, so you can enlighten me if you don't mind. But that's great.
Good evening, Michael.
Yeah, Ron. It's from a company called JK Antennas, Juliet Kilowatt, and it's basically it's a 6 through 40 meter beam, 2 elements on each band, and I'm putting it on Roan 55. I've actually only got about 80 feet of tower, but I wanted to get it. I'm sorry, 60 feet of tower, but I'm thinking it should be a little higher, maybe. Yeah, you could. I know a hex beam is fine at 30 or 40 feet, but I'm thinking this antenna might be better at 80 to 120 feet, but at least 80. So I think I might get a couple extra sections of that Roan 55. So it's KG antennas, and it's the, forget the model numbers. It's just 2 elements on all the bands down to 40 meters. Roger?
Hey, back there, Mr. Martin, over.
Repeat?
I don't know. I think that was Ted.
I think that was somebody
anyway,
else, Mike.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome, man. I think you hit that up on the tower. That's going to be a pretty darn good antenna.
Roger. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is where do I house, because it's a vacant piece of land. I've got the electricity and everything else I need, but I don't really have a good structure to put it in. I was thinking of just making a little CBS building and putting maybe a small AC in it, concrete,
I'm not thinking, it's not an area that really is subject to theft, but, the stuff in there is going to be worth some money, so I'm thinking if I put a good heavy door and make a little building out of concrete block, it might be a good idea.
Well, good to hear you, Martin. I'm back in WB6WCO, and go ahead.
Good evening.
So what are you setting up? You're going to set it up remote? Is that what you're going to do?
Correct. I'm setting it up remote. So I'm going to have a little housing unit for the equipment.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome. You got some nice toys then. Now, I did some work for a television station, a remote. It was a satellite station rebroadcast. Anyway, it had a little brick building, and I'll tell you one thing. We had that set up so that it had a deal on it where it could page if the temperature got too high in there. Because, of course, the transmitters were on all the time. But you won't have that problem. You'll know that. But, yeah, a little brick building, that'd be awesome.
Yes. I think it'd be kind of safe. There are neighbors, within view, but it's farmland. Everything, it's agricultural, like no zoning kind of area. So, I'm sure they're not going to be looking out for anything. But then again, I don't think anybody really has a desire to break into a brick building and they have no idea what's in there or what it's worth. And it's just not that kind of area. But, safety is a concern. Better to start out with something safe than say, darn, I should have put a brick building up.
Yeah. Put up a little block building, man, and you'll be all set. That's neat. I've never run anything remote. Probably never will, but interesting, very interesting. So you're going to have you'll have some bucks in there. It would take somebody in the know, and the chances of somebody in the know knowing where it was at and what it was and all that jazz. Pretty slim, I would think.
KX2U Friday.
Don't spend that much money, just make the building.
Yeah, it's going to be money. The guys are charging $250 an hour, which, from what I understand, isn't really a ripoff for putting up a tower. And there's two of them, and they think it's going to take 2 days to complete everything from tower, putting the antenna together, the whole bit, and the remote. They're putting it on me. They don't really want to get involved with the remote.
Well, that may be maybe liability reasons. They're just not into that. I don't know. But I imagine if you want to spend the money, you'll find contractors that'll do it all for you.
Yep. Yes, that's it. Money equals service. It's a pretty simple formula. The more money, the better the service. If you get references. I didn't let these guys. We already started the project. The foundation was in 3 months ago, and that's completely set. It was I think it was 4 by 4 by 7 feet deep. So, and they already put the guy anchors in. So now it's just everything's there. I've got the antenna, so just got to wait for the weather to break.
Amazing, these stories up there. Hopefully you guys can hear me. WB6WCO listening, over.
WB6, this is KX2U. I'm sorry, could you repeat what you said?
Yeah, we call it Whiskey Bravo 6, Whiskey Charlie Ocean. Amazing stories. I love listening to each and every one of you. You guys got some really trippy stories, right? I just sit back and listen, over.
Roger. Mine is a story of financial ruin. I'm not doing any of the work at all. I'll be there watching, but I've gotten a billion references from these guys and the work they do. And I've also looked up the antenna quite well. JK Antenna is a relatively new company, but not really. I think they just bought Force 12 and they added some of their own product, but they have quite a nice variety of antennas. Plus, they're using a really interesting building method, much different than the Mosley, for example. Although I never thought I'd buy anything but a Mosley, but after I talked to a lot of people and read a bunch of articles, it sold me on the JK.
Yeah, let me jump in. I think you mentioned financial ruin. I don't know, did I get that correct or wrong, but you're doing a great job, over.
Roger, it's a joke. It's just to confirm what Ron was saying, is that it won't be cheap. But I've never spent big money on it. I've been a ham for 50 years, and I'm not getting any younger, so I figure in the twilight of my years, why not have some fun?
No, I get that. Yeah, it's just an analogy, but I think, you guys pull together, just like myself, with the other amateur radio operators, we could build some antenna system. We could put something together. We could put together a business that will definitely outsource the newer amateur radio operators. I mean, I know you guys are not involved in that. It's a thought. Over.
I'm not sure I'm quite understanding your message. You want to create a company, or you're saying somebody should for the new amateurs?
Well, absolutely. Starting a company, my wife would kick my ass since I'm disabled. Yeah, to put something together. I mean, to help other amateur radio operators build antennas. I mean, do things. I mean, here's the thing. Do something each and every day you want to wake up to and have fun doing. I mean, and you're going to give a gift to other new people. How would you feel about that, Owen?
I feel similar. When I wake up, I like to have something. No, not every day. Sometimes I just like to do absolutely nothing. But that gets old after a while. I retired, and I just decided recently I'm going to go back to work and do some things because I haven't really been making constructive use of my retirement time. So I figured if work is what makes me happy, which is strange, I guess, why not do it?
Well, that's where I'm going with it, and I just, once I get the Social Security bullshit out of my way, and I'll get that figured out here whenever it's going to get figured out, but listen, I'm old, and I mean, if I can help somebody out, and, spend some time just, outside, building something for somebody that can make their world be really cool. I'm all part of that, all right?
KX2U good for you. Making the world a better place is a great idea. We don't all have the capacity or the desire, but if you do, go for it. I can't say I've made any. I mean, I just do donations. If there's a hurricane somewhere, I'll send them money or, that kind of thing. I do financial donations, but, actually they would appreciate that a lot more than me coming in swinging a hammer because I can't drive a nail straight. So that's that. Let me send it back over to Ron and see if he's still in there. Ron, you still copy, and you copying the gentleman in California?
I like the new mic. Yeah, I'm in there. I can hear you guys. Okay, so I pulled up those antennas, and They got 3, 4, 5, and 6 banders. I'm curious. Did you get? Would you remember if I told you the 6BAJK? That's got 40 meters on it, and the other one is a XR7JK.
Yeah, I can get you the model number, but they only make one that has 2 elements on every band. That's the only one they make that has 2 elements on every band. But I can get you the model number.
Oh, you don't have to. It's no big deal. I just was curious. Yeah, it's got 2 on 10, 12, 15, 17, 20, and 40.
Okay, here it is. They're calling it an R53K, Force 12. Does that make sense?
Well, I don't see that one here, but I may be looking in the wrong spot.
Is that your brand of antenna, over? I'm sorry, RJ 3 kilowatts. The antenna company is JK, Juliet Kilowatt.
Yeah, it may just be listed under a different number. But they got some pretty nice antennas.
They really have a selection that's quite nice. And the articles that I've been reading, and according to the people who put them up, I mean, this guy said he's put up over like 30 of them, and he said the way they construct it is just incredible. He goes, it's definitely well designed and very unlikely to fail. Plus, it comes with a rotor. I mean, it doesn't come with, but there's a rotor that they have for the system. So I just bought the package. The whole thing was about, I think around $6,000, $6,500, give or take.
That's interesting.
Well, I say getting the package is the best deal. That way you got all the matching stuff. It's supposed to be raised for everything. Not taking any chances. Yep, heck yeah. If you got the money and you can do it, that's the way to go.
Roger. Well, the package doesn't include anything but the antenna and the rotor. I mean, I still have to buy all the ancillary equipment such as guy wires and, build a shack and all that other stuff. But I'm just referring to the cost of the antenna and the rotor. And one thing that's nice is they've designed it so it only needs one cable. You don't need obviously you need a rotor cable and an RF cable, but only one RF cable.
Very good. I'm curious, have you picked out what kind of equipment you're going to use as far as RF equipment?
I haven't bought that yet, but from what I understand, it's not really that critical as long as you have the software that's proper. Like, for example, you could use something inexpensive like literally an ICOM 7300, because you can get the software that'll remote with the rotor and everything, and that would be all you need up at the transmitter site. And at the remote site, technically all you need was a computer, because you'll see the rig on your screen. It'll be like almost like you were sitting in front of the console, to the best of my knowledge. Over?
Oh, yeah. Yep, I know what you're talking about. Interesting. Well, it ought to be a hell of a station when you get done with it. You have one remote already, don't you?
Yes, I do, in South Florida.
Yeah, I thought I heard you mention that before. Well, I've never heard you out here with a bad signal, so obviously it's all set up right. Over.
Hey, is this thing working? Just a quick radio check, over.
Yep,
Roger. Good. Pick him up, Ron.
I'll be there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And a nice audio.
Thank you for the audio. Old school Kenwood. But so, Ron, hopefully it'll work out. We'll see. I've never done a project of this size before. I mean, I put Apex beams and maybe 2-element quads, but that's about, I'm 50 for towers, and that's about the most I've ever done. So this is a little more ambitious.
Hey, it's how you learn how to do stuff, man. Jump in and see how it works out. I'm sure you'll run into some snags, you always do, but you work through them. Well, that's neat. You'll have to keep me posted on the progress on that thing.
Oh, I will. I'm thinking of getting a trailer to mount the equipment in. This way, it'll be somewhat safe, and I could also use it if I ever want to go mobile or something like that. So instead of building a little building, I was thinking of some sort of, RV, but I think they're kind of easy to break into. So I'm a little hesitant. What's your input on that?
Well, I don't know that I'd do that. That'd be too easy to get into, and plus, I don't know what you're talking about buying, but whatever it was, sitting there already depreciating something real fierce. If you're going to do that, you get one of those cargo trailers, that people use for storage. Set it right on the ground there. Those things are heavy. And they're steel, and they ain't got to blow away, that's for sure. Then you don't have to worry about building anything. It sure as hell would be sturdy, should be waterproof, and that would probably work pretty good.
Are you referring to like a metal container, like they put on a ship, or something different?
Yeah, like those. They actually sell those. I guess the retired ones for people to use for storage. You can buy them. They got all different sizes of them too. That may be something to look at anyway. Be a quick solution.
Roger. You're the second or maybe third person who recommended that. So I'm going to have to look into it a lot more and see where they're available. I'm thinking they're probably in coastal areas, be it Miami, San Francisco, although perhaps right in New York here. So maybe they're available where it'd be reasonable to have them shipped over to the property.
Yeah, might be. I mean, we can get them around here. They have them at a place that's like 12 miles from here. So they're all over. I mean, they use them on rail cars too. Stuff like that. So they get around. Might be a decent option for you. I don't know. The other thing is then it would be easy to move because they can bring them out and drop them, and they can pick them up just as easy.
Yeah, that's something for consideration. If the only thing is, my brother was 15 minutes away, so I could always go to his house, to hang out. But the thing's going to be remote, so I'm actually not going to be there. But sometimes, if I want to go up and just hang out for a week, I have other hobbies. I like to shoot bow and arrow, maybe a little target practice, some other stuff. And it's a private kind of area where everybody's okay with that. So maybe if I had something that was livable, that might add a couple of points, but it's also got to be safe. So I'll figure it out ultimately.
Yeah, they got 20-foot used shipping containers in Chicago for $13.99.
Oh yeah, and they're how much are they cost to ship? Do you think?
Well, you got to put in the size and location and all that jazz. But I would look in your area and see what's available there, because I put in used shipping container, man, it popped up with a whole bunch of stuff.
That's what I'll do. I've been looking on
Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, but maybe I'll just put in used shipping containers, and I bet you the same thing will happen here. A bunch of things will come up, and I think there's quite a surplus of them, so I don't see any difficulty if I decide to put them in there. As long as I can keep them, the humidity is important, keeping them just at the right temperature, not too much humidity. They don't leak, hopefully, and that would be a good solution as long as I can maintain the temperature inside.
Yeah, that's something to look at. I mean, depending on the cost of the building compared to the cost to get this in there and get it insulated, I would think they'd be pretty tight. You know, they've got to put up with all kinds of weather. Anyway, I don't know, just a suggestion, something to kick around. N9RON.
N9RON, KX2U and a couple of others out there. I got a friend who's a little short on money, and he's more than willing, if I get a RV, to live in it and keep an eye on everything. So that's another possibility. I don't have to pay him a nickel. I won't charge him rent, but he's going to have, if there's something goes wrong with the remote, something needs to be switched, you know, I understand that happens from time to time on a remote. At least I'll have somebody on site to take care of stuff.
Yep, I understand that as well. I used to work for a company out of California. Now I'm going to forget the name of it. Anyway, it was an engineering firm when I was working for that television station. And that's kind of what I did. I took care of the station. If there was ever a problem, I was required to go out there and take care of it immediately. There's places around that do that kind of stuff too.
This is KX2U. I built houses for not quite as much, but I'm thinking of going back into it. I think there's going to be an opportunity, but I'm 63, you know, I don't have to work, but I think it's better for me, and I may be going down there for some projects, so that's up in the air. And this property in New York, I love to grow plants. I'm actually a professional grower, commercial grower. I could make it, I could grow B&B. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but basically it's burlap. You know, plants that you put in a burlap sack and then you sell them to other companies that resell them. Or you could have it open to the public, but not really a good location for that. But that's another possibility, and not do it on a crazy scale, but just do it to the point of where I enjoy it. Because I used to really enjoy plants and gardening, and I made a commercial business out of it, and I really didn't enjoy it so much anymore because too much pressure, a lot of obligations. I had contracts with Walmart and Sam's Club, so I couldn't mess around. I had to deliver, so it took all the fun out of it. I wouldn't mind going back to just a very slow, casual, fun schedule, something that I could enjoy. Over to you.
Yep, I understand what you're saying. Well, I had big plans for retirement too, but unfortunately, things just went awry. I always joked that I wanted to be a shuttle bus driver at a fancy hotel in Las Vegas. I think that would be an interesting job. Over.
Have you been to Las Vegas?
Oh yeah, I traveled quite a bit, and some work that I had in the past. Kind of lived out of a suitcase for a while. But yeah, I've been to Las Vegas, been to Reno. Always plenty to do there. Yeah,
I've never been there. Believe it or not, I've never been to Las Vegas. And it's never really, I'm not a big gambler, so it's not on the top of my list, but I do like to play cards here and there. But I think there's other things to do and maybe look at certain parts. So that might be something to do in Las Vegas. But right now, I'm just trying to get back into things slowly. I've been inactive for a bit, so I don't want to bite off more than I can chew.
I understand that. Well, if you get a chance to go to Las Vegas, it's something you should do sometime once in your life. Make sure you go down the strip down there and see all the sights and stuff. It's been a long time ago since I was there. The Riviera Hotel was still there. That's where we stayed, and I don't believe it's there anymore. And Reno was nice. Not quite as busy, but very nice. And Hawaii, if you get a chance to go to Hawaii, or if you've been, that's one of the places to go to.
Okay. Oh, Hawaii. Absolutely. I've been to just about every island there. We've spent months in Hawaii. I like all the islands. I favor the Big Island a little bit. Kauai is magnificent. Maui is tremendous, but the Big Island's got that spread, you know, not quite as populated. I do like the Volcano National Park. So, I don't know. That's a fun place that I had a good time at. We've been to every place in the Caribbean you can think of. Back in the day when you could pay one fare and go to any Caribbean island you wanted for 30 days. So we took advantage of that. Europe is where I've spent a lot of time, about 5 years, all over, mostly Western Europe, not so much Eastern, but I've been to pretty much every country in the Western part. My wife is Swiss, so she likes to bounce around there. And my child is just finishing education in Switzerland, and the other one's working in London. So I bounce around like a basketball, depending upon my wife's needs and wants. Over to you, Ron.
and KX2U, yeah. Man, it sounds like you're well traveled. I haven't got that much traveling. I've been to Germany, I've been to Italy, Canada. That's about it. Enjoyed myself, especially in Germany. Had a different place, and I don't know, those people just seem like they know how to have fun. And the whole time we were there, I don't recall seeing any police, and people were having a good old time. And then the open markets and things that they had there were really interesting to me. But I was there for work, so I didn't get to spend a lot of leisure time. But we did manage to sneak out a couple nights over.
Roger. Yep, I've been to Germany, and they do have some more fun. I love those Oktoberfest and any fest that they put on. As long as you like Wiener Schnitzel and that kind of food, it's great. I spent a lot of time in Switzerland, which is beautiful, clean. You can eat off the streets in that country, but it's boring as hell, at least for me, to be quite frank. Beautiful. It lives up to the postcards, but don't look for people to be from it. That's just not how it rolls. Over.
Yep, different places, different cultures, different things. It's different. That's for sure. I know when I was in Italy and Germany, I didn't speak the language, and boy, did I ever feel stupid. But I forgot to mention, in Germany, I had to take a stroll down the red light district while I was there and make sure that I was for real. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it.
N9 RON with KX2U. Switzerland, of course, brothels and prostitution are legal, completely legal, out in the open, no problem, nothing hidden. It's just legal. So that's the whole country is a red light district. But there are some areas that are a little more overt than others, should I say. I spent a bit of time in Geneva, and there's a couple of areas there that are I would call red light, but why is anything called red light when pretty much you can do as you please, but never step out of line. Switzerland has rules. If you break rules, they're exceedingly unhappy with you. Rules, the people there are expected to follow them. Enforcement is rare because people just do and follow the rules. That's just how the country works.
Well, I can understand that. And I believe that's a good rule to have if you're traveling anywhere outside of the country is you don't want to get into any trouble when you're a foreigner in another country. It could be very, very, very bad news, over.
Yeah, and there it would be. Just lay low, don't make trouble, and everything runs perfectly, including the trains. I'd make a bet you'd have a hard time finding a train that's more than 2 minutes early or late. The whole place works like a watch, which they make huge money. I mean, I don't have that kind of money. These guys have got, we're talking, just in watches they'll spend $700,000, $800,000 in investments. So it's an interesting country if you like watches. But I managed to not get in any trouble whatsoever. I only had one problem. People were playing darts one night, and this is when I first got into the country, and they did want to play darts. They wouldn't let me get in the game. And I'm like, hey, this is a public bar. I can play darts if I want. You know, after you finish your game, I can play. But the owner got really pissed at me. And what I didn't understand is it was a tournament. So therefore, I was politely asked to leave. Over.
It's going to be bitchy,
yeah.
man.
Well, it's a good thing too. I can't see getting in trouble when you're out of the country for sure. Anyway, Mike, I'm going to get out of here. I think Ted's wanting to talk to somebody or something there. He's kind of tying with you on signal for some reason.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll catch you later, and enjoy talking to you. Hope you have a great night. We'll catch you some other time. K2FBZ, 7th Street. Have a great night from N9RON.
N9RON, KX2U Good night, Ron.
Cold ham, Vince. This year. You know, it's going to be a rock and roll party, man. We're going to love it.
You're going to have beer at Dayton.
Wasn't Baba Booey in there?
We're going to find you, and we're going to beat the shit out of you.
Thank God I didn't bring a power tax.
Whoa! That sounds completely and totally unfriendly.
Super excited. A lot of cool stuff happening.
It was a recording from last night.
How much power are you running there?
Nobody's going to beat anybody. Everybody blabbers, but we're never going to do it, and we don't want to. It's kind of, I can understand the fun of threatening, but nobody's going to beat anybody.
I don't run power.
UFO. You got a huge signal in South Florida.
So you're killing it, deer. You want to see the power dog, deer, huh?
Well, it's true. The amplifier I'm using is from Germany, and it's an old one. All the model numbers I can't read, so I don't know the exact model it is. But it's an interesting amp.
You knew who we were talking to, buddy. Your buddy, over.
Who am I speaking with?
WCO. No, I mean, it goes without saying out here in northwestern Alabama, my dear friend out of central Florida, over.
Oh, my buddy in Alabama. I'm sorry. I should have got it right from the beginning. How you been?
I'm vertical. Everything's good. How are you doing, bud?
My life is doing average. My wife just went back to Switzerland. She was here for about 6 weeks. Now she's got to go. She's still taking care of my daughter. She's like 20, but she's still in college, so she's still mama and wants to take care of her. So she likes to spend a lot of time there. Plus she has a nice dog. Hey, at least I come in third. I guess that's kind of good enough for me. Other than that, let's see. Putting up the antenna farm, working on that, and going back to work because I've had a little bit too much extra time on my hands, and that's not particularly good for me personally. So that's what's going on with me. How about you?
GMS, if I got that correct, GMS, WB6W2. Let me write this down. I'm doing good, man. It was 70-some degrees today. I cooked out steaks and ate salad, garlic bread, and all that kind of bullshit. But GMS, is this right sounding okay down in Tampa? Over?
I'm not in. Are you talking to KX2U
Nice audio. Oh, Sarasota, man. That is something that I never get a chance to talk to you. I love Sarasota, Florida. Buddy, you're doing a great job as well. Over.
Thank you. On the side.
Thank you very much.
This is a Yankee 991A.
Ted D, are you going to drink some more beer?
Beer smoke in Sarasota sounded really great in northwestern Alabama. And thank you for the compliment. From Sarasota, thank you. I mean, I'm speechless, over.
Yeah, well, we moved down here from northern Ohio a long time ago, 1982, and I had forgotten about what winters are like up there. We love it down here.
Sarasota, Florida, you got me way off guard with that compliment, man, but John Preston, you're doing a fantastic job in northwestern Alabama, and like I said, I hope I sound as good as you and the other gentleman out there as well, over.
Yeah, I'm not hearing him as well as you, but your signal also is 20 over 9, so that helps. But yeah, you're standing out on the dial, no doubt about it.
Copy that. I better shut my mouth and take a standby, so to speak. God bless you, brother. Good to work you, man. I'll say 73, man. Really great signal. And hey, stay warm. At least I can say on this side, stay warm. But it goes without saying, over.
I think I should have.
I think we hit 72 degrees today. 72. We're looking at tomorrow, 72 degrees, and then, take her down. It goes from there, over.
Yeah, wow, that's a strange climate you got there. My nephew lives in Nashville. That's...
Yeah, it's a cool thing. Hopefully, we can roll out of the plane. 17 degrees, all that bullshit. Excuse my French. I think we're in spring. I think we're going to be in spring, and I think things are going to warm up. And that's my hope. Over.
Yep, daylight savings time is coming soon. So I noticed tonight already we're approaching 6:30 for sunset. So it's sort of a shock to the system when that happens. I'll tell you, the whole outlook on everything changes because you got a whole hour of daylight more.
Exactly. Listen, I'm not going to tie you up, man. I'm going to go grab myself a drink. God bless you, man. And, listen, it's warm enough. Okay, hopefully it's going to stay warm enough. I mean, we got upper temperatures and lower temperatures. I was looking at it this week, so nothing's wet. And that's cool, isn't it?
Yep, you're in relatively nice climate there. They say that 37th parallel is where you want to be. We're at 27 here. And where I was in Fort Lauderdale for all those years was around 26. Almost tropical. But we get cold. We were in the heat for a couple of weeks down here. It got pretty chilly into the 40s. Several nights. Anyway, thanks for coming back to us and letting us know this thing will work. And I'm going to sign out now and say 73. My name is Joel Juliet Oscar Echo Lima, and the call is Whiskey America 8 Papa Alpha Golf. Go ahead.
Mr. Joel, you're killing it, doing a great job down there toward the south ports of Florida. And thank you for acknowledging me. And yeah, you're dealing with it. You totally understand with it like I do. Joel, take care, buddy. I'll let you rock and roll it. WD6, WCS. Western Alabama, Joel. You take care, bud.
And you too, 73.
Drink your beer.
So nice. KN4 MGM.
MGM, I'll be right back, over.
Roger there, WB6 WCO 10-4.
Get a beer, CO.
What's the worm in the background saying?
The gentleman in Florida, do you copy Kilo Alpha 2, Fox Papa Zanzibar? Nothing heard. KA2, FPZ on the side. Charlie, Tango Papa, are you calling the specific station? This is Kilo Alpha 2, Fox Papa Zanzibar.
Yeah, this is Kilo Quebec 4, Charlie Tango Papa here. Just actually getting out the HF radio. Hadn't had it on in a while, and heard some activity here. Thought I would pop in and just see if the transmitter button still works okay, but it sounds like it does. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. I've got a good copy on you. Your audio's fine. Your signal's up at about a 5.8. No problem. My name is Mike, and I'm in the state of Connecticut. What's your name in QTH?
Yeah, hey Mike, it's good to meet you here. My name is Justin, Juliet, Uniform Sierra Tango Indigo, November. If you look on QRZ, it's going to say Timothy. That's my first name, I go by my middle name, Justin. And so, yeah, Mike, I'm down here in Florence, Alabama, which is the far northwest corner of Alabama, just south of Tennessee, just east of Mississippi.
Roger, Justin. Must have a pipeline tonight into Alabama. You're like the third or fourth station I've copied from Alabama, so I guess a little bit of a pipeline tonight. I'm using a Icon 7300, putting that here into an end fed, running about a kilowatt, and the microphone is an Icon SM50. Roger?
Yeah, roger that.
Roger.
Sounds really good. Yeah, I also have an Icon 7300. Just running 100 watts, and yeah, into an end-fed halfway.
I think everybody has the Icon 7300. I wish I would have designed and installed that rig. Somebody made a fortune.